Alright, now let's talk about functions and methods. So let me tell you right at the start, functions and methods are the same. There is basically no difference in a structure inside methods and functions. So you're gonna hear me saying functions sometimes and saying methods sometimes, but don't get confused, they are the same thing. The only difference is where it is going to be used, which is if it is used inside of a class, which I'm going to tell you about classes in the next episode. If it is used inside of a class, it is going to be a method, and if it is used outside of a class, it is going to be a function. Methods are just like variables, but instead of values, we will store a piece of code inside of them. And whenever we call the name of our function, the code inside of that function will be executed. And it will make our application very much cleaner and our lives very much easier. For example, let's say we have a function that is going to send some data to our server, and we need to implement that functionality multiple places inside our application. So if this functionality is being done by 10 lines of code, I need to copy paste that 10 lines of code to multiple places. But if we use functions, I can just create a function and put that 10 lines of code inside of that function. Then I can call the name of the function 10 times instead of copy pasting the functionality itself. Now the structure of functions are very much like variables as well. And to create a function, first we need to specify a type, then we will give it a name, let's say multiply, and after that we add 2 parentheses and 2 curly brackets. So the type that we specify for our function will be the type that the value will be going to return after the calculation is done. What I'm gonna say is that every time that we call the name of the function have to return something to us. It can be the value of the operation or simply just a boolean type true false. So we know that the operation got done without any error. So the red line that you can see below the name of my function, it means that we have a problem here. And if I hover my mouse on it, here you can see it is because we are not returning a value. So for now, just to get rid of the error, I'm just gonna say return 0. And that's how we can return a value. And let me tell you again, we can return anything that we want, but the type that we are returning and the type that we specified for our function should be the same. Another thing about return is it doesn't matter how many lines of code we have after the return. As soon as it hits return, it will get out of the function. So to use the function, it's very simple. We just call its name. Here's the difference between variables and function because we have to put 2 parentheses at the end. So now this is our function being called. Right now our function is doing nothing, but it is returning some value to us. In this case it's 0, but 0 is a value as well. So let's just print it out. And we can do that by storing the returned value inside of another value, let's call it result, and put it equal to multiply. Or we can directly put the multiply inside the console.write line. Now if I run our application, the value of 0, you can see it is being printed out. Now let's say I want to pass some value to my function. So in order to pass some values to a function, first we need to specify the type of the values that we are going to pass. And let's say we're going to have an integer, let's call it a, and we need to have another integer, let's call it b. So outside of our function, the only thing that matters is the type, because the variables that we have created here are only accessible inside our function, and we cannot use a or b outside of the function. Now if I hover on the multiply name that we have called here you can see we have 2 parameters and we haven't passed any parameters. As you can see here, it says multiply does need 2 integers and it is required. Let's pass 2 and 5. So now let's use our variable. What we want to do, we want to create another variable called result and say result going to be equal to a multiplied by b. And here I want to return result. And here our function is very simple. So I can just say return the a multiplied by b. But not all of the functions going to be simple as that. And if we have a rather complicated function, it's always better to create a separate variable for the result so your code be more readable to other people. Now if we run our application, Here you can see the value of 10 being printed out inside my console. Now there is another type of function that we can create, which is called void functions. The void functions are an exception for when we do not need any returned value, and it is used very often. So let's say we have a music player application and we want to create a function for each functionality for our application. For example, going to the next music. So let's name this function simply next music, and I assume it does need a variable called current music. So we say, okay, this is the current music, and now you should go to the music after that. But the only difference between void functions and any other type is that it does not require a return, and it will be used when we don't need any return value. Another important thing to note is that it doesn't matter where we call our function. So as I told you, C# will run the codes from top to bottom. But as soon as we hit play and we run our application, the functions will be initialized inside our application, so it doesn't matter where we call them. It is going to work, and that's a very helpful feature. Alright everyone, that's it for this video. If you want to encourage me to create more videos like this, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Thank you, bye bye.